Welcome to the ECCU 400 final assignment. I want to start the video by acknowledging that I'm living on Treaty 4 land, and this land is original land of Cree, Saute, Lakota, Nakota, Dakota, Ojibwe and Métis Nation. I have taken the permission from Elder Dixon before using the back of the turtle as a circle in my final assignment. The picture I drew and Cree words I chose, Miskasawin, Miyovichotawin, Kichiasotomatawin and Tapawavin shows my understanding and responsibilities of treaties on Turtle Island. The circle is also showing my learning through this class. Talking about myself, I was born and raised halfway across globe from here in India. I immigrated here 10 years ago because Canada is a peaceful and prosperous land with lots of opportunities to grow. My ancestors were from different lands, both India and Pakistan. My maternal grandparents were from Pakistan and my paternal grandparents were from India, so I identify myself as South Asian woman of Indian and Pakistani origin. Canadian flag represents I am a citizen of Canada and it is a multicultural country, but it also represents the injustices, racism, and discrimination happen to First Nation peoples in this country. There is always a two-sided coin where the other side of the picture is not portrayed to the world. My Miskasawin story as a treaty person changed over this class, and Treaty 4 flag represents we are all treaty people. Recognizing oneself as a treaty person means I have treaty rights and responsibilities to uphold and to embrace and appreciate all of the diverse identities, cultures, and ethnicities that surround me. Mio Vichotawin. Mio Vichotawin is a doctrine principle of making good relationship with others. I drew this drawing people of different colors holding hands together to make good relationships. We can make good relationships through mutual benefit, mutual respect, mutual responsibility, and reciprocity, and to be empathetic towards others. My Mio Vichotawin and Miskasawin journey as a treaty person begin working beside Elder Dixon. She is the sea of knowledge and always helped me to learn the spirit and intent of the treaties. I have a sacred relationship with her that cannot be explained. She always welcomed me and shared her knowledge of treaties and First Nation history with me. The pictures you can see here are my treaty relatives, Sheena Coops and Christy Severson, and I also have made relationship to the land, water, and sky. And the ribbon skirt I'm wearing in this picture represent the cross-cultural relationship. Kichiasotomatawin. The drawing I drew holding two hands together represents the sacredness of treaties to me and intentions behind the spirit and intention behind treaties. Treaties are sacred promises that were made under the smoke of pipe, and Creator was the witness of these promises. The intentions of the treaties were to mutually benefit both First Nation people and white settler. The treaties are the key to living together harmoniously. That is why treaties are living documents and will go on as long as the sun shines, the river flows, and grass grows. But settlers have been breaking these promises. Treaties were more than written documents, and treaties maintain a permanent living relationship for all generations. While learning about Kichiasotomatawin, I have found many similarities between my religion and indigenous belief. It is not at all a coincidence how teaching of this holy book, Sampurna Avatar Bani, align with the treaty understanding of Miskasawin, Mio Vichotawin, Wetaskiwin, Kichiasotomatawin, Wahakotawin, and Tapawavin. Sampurna Avatar Bani, page number 30 says, He himself creates and looks after the universe. He is its supreme creator. Is so similar to the teachings of Treaties Elders of Saskatchewan. It is the creator who created everything, who puts us here on this land. So this is my understanding of spirit and intentions of treaties, and also acknowledging that because of the treaties I'm living on this land. Tapawavin means telling the truth with precision and accuracy, acknowledging the wrongdoings of Canadian towards FNMI people and moving forward through truth and reconciliation, and also incorporate 7 teachings: wisdom, love, respect, bravery, honesty, humility, and truth in the classroom and in everyday life for teaching First Nation culture, language, and history that we have forgotten. The words of truth and reconciliation should not be on the paper. We actually have to make these things happen. We cannot change the past, but as a teacher, I have the potential to change the future through proper treaty education. And my experience during treaty work brought struggle to know the truth and intentions I was not aware of. So here is a question: how will I disrupt the curriculum while still meeting the outcomes? How do I bring treaties in the classroom? The answer is by self-educating myself and others around me, and putting more efforts to know more, and also taking students to the smudging ceremonies, power dances, and round and feast dance by following the proper protocol. I also want to acknowledge that at the beginning of this class, I was like a caterpillar with the limited knowledge, and now we are approaching final stages of this class. It feels like I have grown to a butterfly as my knowledge base has grown exponentially, and my journey as a treaty person will be continuous and will stay with me beyond this course.